So what happens when you're in the middle of your weight loss journey and you're trying to go to the gym, you're trying to eat right, trying to get a new YouTube channel off the ground, and then you get a cold, Thanksgiving happens, parents come to visit, and then you catch a cold again. Well, you could give up, quit the gym, regain all the weight, stop making videos, or you could get back on the horse. Hi, my name is Lisa. I am a speech-language pathologist, adventurer, aspiring writer, avid goal setter, and goal king. And I'm here to help you learn how to set and accomplish your goals. So if you'd like to be successful and accomplish your goals, or you'd simply like to see how I get along accomplishing my own goals, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment down below. Public service announcement. We are still in the cringe phase of content creation, but I will embrace the cringe and I encourage you to embrace it with me. However, this phase is almost over. We're almost at the end of the year. I wonder what phase will come next. Wait and see. Also, my hair is like really big right now because it was in a bun. You'll see that in my other videos. And it just like took it down for the bun and now it's like frizzity. But you know, whatever. We embrace the cringe, right? I'll embrace the frizz as well. I also have this really cool shirt on. I just realized you can't see it on the camera. And I kind of really want to show you, so I'm just going to stand up and show you. So it's just a, burn my dust, eat my rubber from, Griswold Family Christmas. Anyways, I'll show more of those clothes. I got a lot of really good Christmas clothes, and I'm going to do a clothing haul soon. Not this is a vlog or an update video, but anyways, let's get started. Falling off the horse with your goals can be really frustrating, especially when it can seem like all that hard work was for nothing. And there is certainly a shame that comes with like not logging your meals that day, not weighing in, and not working out like you had planned to. I mean, you may not feel shame with like skipping leg and arm day one too many times in a row, but your body certainly feels it. And this causes you to lose momentum. And that momentum is really key here. I mean, it's really hard to get started in the first place, and then even harder to get started again once you failed. So what do we do in that situation, which by the way, I'm in right now? Yes, I had a series of colds and holiday plans that just derailed everything. I missed 2 weekends of planned episode writing, filming, and editing just because I was too sick I couldn't get out of bed. And also one of those illnesses I caught was laryngitis, which is why my voice sounds so weird right now. And even if I wanted to push through all that pain and misery and exhaustion, it's not like I could have filmed anyways. I didn't have a voice. And that just kind of like piled on top of everything else that was going wrong at the moment. Thanksgiving causes like extra bloat, and your parents being here and then wanting to eat out like messes with your diet plans and things you're trying to stay away from. And like it all compiles to just where the thought of keeping all these spinning plates in the air, it's overwhelming. And when they crash and fall to the ground, it's overwhelming. Just even think about picking them up again. And anyone in that situation is going to have a hard time just knowing even where to start. And most people just don't even start again. Most give up. Because for some reason, it's like easier to accept the shame of failure and defeat than it is to accept personal responsibility and, work even harder than you did before. And look, I understand there's an exception to everything. I'm not one of those like no excuses person. I think that phrase is actually more hurtful and harmful than helpful, especially to people who are struggling. Yeah, no excuses is fine when you're riding that high of success, but it's pretty insulting when you're on the ground in the lows and woes of failure. And I understand it might not be possible to pick everything back up. That's kind of why it's so overwhelming. But you can always do one thing. And that's kind of my first bit of advice for falling off the horse. Pick one thing. Start with one thing and do that. For me, it was getting back on the diet train. When you spend a whole week eating Thanksgiving food full of like sugar and polyunsaturated fats and loads of bad carbohydrates, it gets really hard to want to go back to that lifestyle when you're not eating any of that stuff because it's so good. Your body's like, I want more, crave it. And you're like, no, I need to resist. So you end up sabotaging yourself a little bit. You're like, well, I'll start my diet tomorrow. I'll start it next week. And you just, keep moving that goalpost, keep moving the time frame so you can just eat a little bit more of the good stuff. And it's not even like you're overeating. It's not like you're having too many calories. But that stuff is just so bad for you that it's going to cause a whole bunch of other problems. And I do think it makes it harder to lose weight because, you take one bite, you're like, oh, I wasn't overeating this time. Maybe I'll overeat the next time. Or, if your metabolism is not functioning properly, and you're eating foods that are bad for your thyroid, then, you're going to end up in a situation where you're lowering your thyroid and you're gaining weight more easily. Now, people who haven't struggled with massive weight loss, I'm not talking about like 50 pounds or less. I'm talking 100 plus pounds We'll just call this a lack of self-control. That's the narrative. That's like what you'll hear everywhere. And there is, my friend Alex talks about this, a big fat backlash coming against people who are overweight. So, lose weight now or else, you'll get caught in the backlash. I don't know. It sounds scary. Although from everything I've read and researched, I do not think it is so clear cut. I don't think it's just about self-control, or at least not in the way that they're presenting it. And that thing is executive functioning. What is executive functioning? It is a process in the frontal lobe of our brains that controls, self-control, self-monitoring, working memory, planning, time management, keeping track of multiple tasks, among many other important things. And as you'll see, I had a bunch of edits in that last line because my working memory is kind of terrible and I cannot remember 2 sentences put together half the time. And although the research is emerging, there is a theory, and I have this theory too, that what you eat affects your executive functioning. If you have hormonal problems, definitely. I mean, there is some research to show that if you have unbalanced estrogen as a woman, your cognition is affected. And so it's good to keep a balance of hormones. And if those hormone issues or what you're eating affects your executive functioning, then you're going to struggle with self-control. And I'll talk about this more in another video eventually. I'm really going to do a deep dive into this at some point. But it's something I'm really curious about. And like I said, it's emerging research, maybe just what I've looked at. Maybe there's more. We'll see. I'll do more reading. But it makes sense, like what you put into your body affects your body, clearly. And yeah, if this is the case, then there's literally a deficit in self-control. So they're not entirely wrong. It's just not something that you can double down and beat over the head until you get it right. I only bring this theory up to have you understand why it's so hard to self-start in the first place. And why doing just one thing at a time can really help you get back on track. Because if you're already struggling to manage multiple things, manage yourself, manage your time, just adding more things to that is really going to overwhelm your system. The fewer things you have to manage, the less brain energy you have to expend managing it. So what else can we do to help us, other than managing one thing at a time, to help us really get back onto that horse and towards that pathway to success? Well, something I'm also going to do is forgive myself. What's worse than shame and failure? Well, it's carrying that shame and failure around with you long after the thing has happened. Honestly, what even is the point? The worse I feel about myself, the less I'm going to actually want to do, what's good for me. It seems entirely counterintuitive, but, honestly, if shame worked, everybody would be their most perfect, ideal version of themselves already. Because God knows we kind of live in a shaming culture. The next thing I'm going to do is set a timeline. I'm going to write it down, put it on paper, and I'm going to post it everywhere. This timeline, I'm going to write it out to keep me on track, the things that I need to do, the things I need to remind myself of daily. And I'm going to post it maybe inside my bedroom door, so I can see it when I wake up in the morning, or post it on my bathroom mirror, or post it on the door before I leave for work, post it on the dashboard of my car so I can see it when I'm driving to and from work. Just anywhere where I'm going to see it multiple times a day, so I have it constantly in my mind what I need to work on, just what responsibilities I need to keep track of to help me. Because remember, we're dealing with a deficit in executive functioning here, which affects memory and management. So we might say, okay, I'm going to do these things tomorrow, and it's 8 p.m. at night, and you go to sleep, and you wake up the next day, and it's 6 a.m., and you've just forgotten everything you're supposed to do. I mean, it's gone. It's completely out of your mind. And then you're driving home from work that day, you're hungry and exhausted, and you forget that you have the healthy meal in your fridge at home. Because, this happened before. I literally forget that I've already made something for myself at home. And I'm like, oh, what am I going to eat? I'm so hungry. And you just can't think. You forget that you're trying to lose weight. You forget that you're doing all these things. It's so weird. It's like amnesia. And then you pull into a restaurant and you order chicken Alfredo. And it's like, geez, I know I'm not supposed to be eating pasta. But you do anyways. So really having visual reminders everywhere, and I mean everywhere, is extremely helpful to helping you stay on track. And it's very helpful to this onboarding stage of self-management and self-improvement. Lastly, I'm going to accept that this is not going to be a perfect restart. I will mess up on day 2. I will forget something on day 3. And I will fail again on day 5 and feel crappy about myself once again. But knowing this ahead of time will help me visualize past those mistakes when they do happen and help me keep moving forward. It will get me to that point where I'm focused, on track, and once again, riding that high of success. Anyways, that's all I have for today. It's kind of a short video, but I promise I have many more videos to come. So please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment down below. Please let me know what you'd like to see on this channel, and let me know about some of the goals that you're working on. How can I best help you accomplish your goals?